Ask about Rock. What were the expectations for him coming in, and how did he meet those expectations?
Oh, man, just a veteran player that we saw on tape early on and knew he could be a good depth piece for us. And, you know, especially in this game, you're always going to need good players. And then Rock just has turned out to be a very solid pro, good at what he does. He understands what his strong suits and his weaknesses are, and he tries to play to those.
How critical was that past experience when there was some attrition, maybe taking over that room throughout the course of the year?
Oh, man, we preached from the beginning, let's go take everybody. And he just kind of bought in from the beginning. He's one of the guys that you can count on regardless if he gets a rep or not, that he's going to try to execute it when he gets the shot. And you saw that early on.
Ennis Rakestraw's a guy we obviously haven't seen since, early on. What are the challenges when you miss this much time, especially early in your career?
Well, the good thing is he's still been able to be around it. The mental part always is some of the tougher things of learning the playbook, but there's never an opportunity where when you don't get a rep that it doesn't help you. And so that for him it's going to be how can we speed up those reps when he does come back to catch him up, because time and reps is the best thing that you can get as a player, and he's missed a lot of it.
Thoughts on how you can speed that up?
There's no such thing. The only thing that speeds up is his age I'm getting every week. But, for him, it's just going to be time on task, and that's the best thing for him.
We talked to Shep yesterday, and he sounds very eager to kind of dive into the self-scout and particularly the explosive play element of it. I'm just curious your perspective on that. Like, how eager are you to kind of just dive into it, diagnose kind of what went wrong and start, fixing that?
Well, I think the big thing is it starts this week. We got to take care of what's at hand coming up on Sunday, making sure that, our eyes and our feet and technique is correct. And then understanding what the offense is trying to do. And that's always what it's going to come down to at our position. It's just understanding what is happening, the flow of the game, what are they trying to do to you. And I think that's what we have to do this week.
It's kind of an up and down year for Terrion with the injuries, but when he was healthy and you kind of got to see what the potential looked like, what kind of injury do you have in that player?
Well, it's hard to find corners, and that's the thing. And for him, getting those reps has been big. And I thought, for us, always it's a week-by-week process, and I think he was getting better every week. And that's the only thing that you can do. Like, how can I improve from one week to the next? And he did some good things on tape.
When he's at his best, what's like his superpower?
I think his knowledge of the game, his size, his length helps him. I think he does better when he's in man, like which we like to do here. And I think that's probably his strongest suit. It's just getting up and knowing who he's covering and doing and executing that assignment.
I asked Shep this yesterday, but the defensively at least, it seemed like a lot sort of went downhill when you lost those two safeties. Can you just put that into perspective, how much, not having those guys hurt?
Man, anytime you lose two of your, better players in the NFL, it's going to hurt your team, not just players that's on your team that are really good. But, I feel like other guys have came in and stepped in and tried to put their hand in the pile and execute what those guys do. But it's a lot when you lose a guy that's has a lot of interceptions like Curb and as a physical player like BB. It's just tough to replace those type of two guys.
What have you learned these last 2 weeks going from that man-dominant scheme to playing a lot more zone to end the season?
I think it's been a great job by Shep by understanding what's going on with the team. I think we put guys in position to do what they do best. All right, we're giving them some plays where they can kind of get out of some man, where we can give you some looks where the offense has to figure out what we're in. And I think that's what you have to do as a coach, try to put you guys in the best position. I think Shep has done a good job of that.